Secretary Remulla, I wanted to ask you, this is quite interesting. Did the government, lumabag ba ang gobyerno sa proseso, sa arrest proceedings of the custodial state? I'll read it again. Article 59 of the ICC, the arrest proceedings in the custodial state, paragraph 2, a person arrested shall be brought promptly before the competent judicial authority in the custodial state. Dapat po ata dinala muna si Duterte sa isang judge or hukom sa Pilipinas, Secretary.
Good morning, Karen. Good morning, attorney. I am not a lawyer. I cannot interpret the law, nor am I a competent authority. But I find it amusing that Attorney Lambino keeps on insisting on the rights of the former president. What about the rights of the 30,000 who he summarily had killed without any judicial action, without any charges? 30,000 victims were killed without any due process. Now, if we argue technicalities, I welcome them. Bring him to the court. But were the 30,000 allowed to go to court? Were the 30,000 read their rights when they were executed? Were they allowed to plead their case? I don't think this is the proper forum. I think it's moot and academic. I think they should go to the competent authorities. I cannot argue the case. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just saying I am taking the side of the 30,000 who were slaughtered. They were killed. They were tortured. They were ordinary Filipinos deprived of their life, their liberty, and they were deprived of any due process. Attorney, please explain to the 30,000, how do you defend that? How do you defend their lives? How do you defend the lives lost? Let's go there. Before we go to the technicalities you are stating, let's go to the 30,000. Please defend them. If you have any love of country, sir, I'm not finished. Sir, I am not finished.
Yes, okay.
If you have any love of country,
you asked me to answer.
if you have any love of country, sir, if you have any love of country, please defend the 30,000, not the one. If you have any sense of responsibility to your profession, please look into the deaths of the 30,000 and defend the parents who lost their children. Do not defend the one. If you have any sense of responsibility to your profession, be a professional. Look at their cases. Look at the 30,000 before you look at one. You're missing the forest for the tree. Look at the forest, not the one tree.
Can I answer that?
All right, wait, I apologize. Wait, this is not a debate format show, so we've already given Attorney Lambino the chance for a solo interview a while ago, and now we are speaking with Interior Secretary Remulla. With Zoom, people can see each other, but I think we're not formatted for a debate right now. Okay, so I go back to Secretary Remulla. So Secretary Remulla, take us back. What time, when did the Interpol inform the Philippine government of the warrant?
It was 3 a.m. when the PCTC received the warrant. Subsequently, it was the opinion of the Department of Justice that it was a valid warrant, and it was served with due course to the former president. His rights were read. He was brought to the holding area. He asked for lawyers. We gave them access. They pleaded with the Supreme Court. We waited 11 hours for the court to take action. We could not bring him out of the custodial center because of security reasons. But must I remind you that General De La Rosa filed a case in the Supreme Court for the urgent TRO. What happened? We waited from 11 in the morning till 11 at night, 12 hours. So if that is insufficient, then so be it. But we gave them all the due process.
Okay, so it means that because you had the Filipino people wondering what was he doing in Villamor Air Base, and why wasn't the plane that was chartered taking off? It was because the government was waiting for the Supreme Court to act.
Yes, We gave 12 hours. I think that was enough time. I hope you understand that it was impossible to bring him out. It was impossible. 500 people were waiting outside Villamor. It would have been a stampede. It would have been a security risk. Now, was he allowed to file a case in court? He did. They did file. Did we wait? We did wait. I think 12 hours is enough. I think we gave due process, and maybe they can argue that case further down the road. But in our case, we did what we thought was right.
Okay, now, just to contextualize, the plane, the Gulfstream 550 is that correct? This is
Yes.
chartered by the Philippine government?
Yes.
Okay, so when Vice President Sara Duterte made a statement of the Philippines handing out its own citizen to a foreign power, I wanted to ask you, Secretary, does that make her factually correct? Because in the end, people were wondering, did the Philippine government arrange for the plane? Kumbaga, tayo ba ang nagbigay?
Yes.
Or, okay, go on, Secretary.
Yes. The plane is chartered by the Office of the President. We brought them straight to the Netherlands. At 11:03 wheels up, we surrendered him to the International Tribunal. Now, is it a foreign power? Yes, it is constituted of foreigners. But is it a foreign sovereign entity? It is not. It is a tribunal court composed of nationals from different countries. Did we submit them to a foreign leader? We did not. Did we submit him to a unfair condition? It is a tribunal court. They can argue their case there, and we welcome it.
But Secretary, why do you think would the president have a fair trial in the ICC and not in Philippine courts? Because now you do have some lawyers also on social media questioning, isn't this an admission somehow that we don't trust our own judicial system to function or give a fair verdict?
We were in the process of, as according to the Secretary of Justice, collating all the evidence. We were in the process of the investigative phase. The rule of the Department of Justice is that they will not present a case without certainty of conviction. So the wheels turn slowly here in the Philippines, and they were gathering evidence, and they were about to file a case. There was no case on court. We were investigating. The warrant was served. We agreed to the warrant. It's as simple as that.
Okay. Now, the Philippine government cooperated with the Interpol when the Interpol served the red notice. Will the Philippine government aid the victims of the Duterte drug war with a trial that he is facing with the ICC today? Is the Philippine government supporting the victims?
We are not. We have no legal basis as of yet. We
Okay.
We have not cooperated with the ICC. We have not submitted any documents. No member of this government has had a conversation with the ICC. We did not supply them any materials, any evidence. They did their investigation on their own.
All right. Okay. Secretary, is there anything you want to add? Because I know that you are meeting with the president this morning.
I'd just like to call for sobriety. Let justice take its course. Inflammatory rhetoric will not get us anywhere. If you want justice served, if you want justice seen, then let's wait for the process to continue. The problem with the last administration was that there was no due process. There was no fair fight. We are giving him a fair fight in an international court of law. I hope that's sufficient to explain. I hope Atty. Lambino understands and appreciates, and I hope that he is there, The Hague, to argue the point. As far as we are concerned, we have complied, and we move on with governance.
Okay, Secretary, here's a good question that just came in right now from a viewer. Was there word of the arrest warrant That's why the former president went to Hong Kong. There were rumors that were swirling around that supposedly he was supposedly wanting asylum in Hong Kong. I mean, these are just rumors. So
I cannot answer rumors, Karen. I cannot answer to their state of mind as well during that time. I believe they were there for a campaign, and that's as far as we know.
okay, did the Duterte camp try to reach out to Malacanang after talk was swirling of a possible arrest warrant? Was there any member of the Duterte camp that tried to reach out to the president?
Not to my knowledge, Karen.
Okay,
Not to my
all
knowledge.
right. Okay, and at this point, I know the president issued that statement. It was very short, close to midnight, and you were there at the press conference. How will the president be addressing all the questions right now from different camps?
What questions?
Questions that this was political convenience, this was done out of his own convenience at this point.
Well, I think in due time he will. But he's busy governing. For him, life goes on. For him, there are so many people to help. There are so many problems of the country to solve. I think if he is asked, he will explain in his own time. But as far as he's concerned, life goes on. We govern. He governs, and he wants to solve the problems of the country.
All right. On that note, I want to thank you so much for joining me today, Interior Secretary John Vic Remulla. Thank you so much.